What video am I supposed to be watching? Oh, niggas saying Flacco diss me? Come on, Flacco can't diss me. Come on now. All right. Let's get back to reality, people. Yo, Whiny Tugboat with like another 15 gifted. Whiny Tugboat, thank you for blessing the chat, my brother. Thanks for blessing the chat, brother. Okay, anyway, bunch of stuff kind of went down today. Got some updates for the whole takeoff situation if y'all want it. Have some updates for the Tory situation if y'all want it. I heard the most hilarious shit went down in court with Tory Lanez. The most hilarious shit. Y'all wanna hear what I heard? The most hilarious shit went down in court with Tory. And by the way, you know what? Let me go to where can I find the update? Because some people reported on it. I ain't gonna tell you how I got it. Okay. Let me see. Oh, so SOHH, and by the way, I used to post on the site. If you ever wonder, I used to post on this site and I used to post on like another site. Like posting on websites used to be a thing at one point, right? Anyway, let me tell you, where is it? Wait, how the fuck do I find the article? Okay. Yo, so today was trial, right? Or not trial, like they're doing this whole like pre-selection shit. So they're trying to figure out the jury. Watch this shit. I'm about to show you. And wait, why can't I see it still? Okay. There's some like, you know what I mean, some journalists, I want to give them their credit, you know what I mean, because you know they banned all cell phones from the joint, you know what I mean? I told him, I said, if Big Act get in that courtroom, Big Act gonna be on some Selena Powell shit. I'm gonna have a cell phone tape, nigga. I'm gonna have a cell phone tape under my man boob, nigga. Fuck that, nigga. I'm getting the cell phone up in that bitch, nigga, and we recording everything. We streaming it, matter of fact. But anyways, from what I hear, you know what I mean, they're on high alert of me showing up, which I'm like, what the fuck? Nigga, why they acting like I'm the Joker? Like I'm just gonna kick open the door and be like, Aka's here. Like, what the fuck? Like, this ain't got nothing to do with me. So, but anyway, the whole courthouse is on high alert for Big Act. They want nothing to do with anything that has to do with academics, media credentials. They don't want to do nothing like that. But anyway, there are some good journalists who are kind of like keeping their eye out and so forth. Okay, for example, there's a journalist who actually kind of like documented the whole thing. They're from SOHH.com. I used to post on the site, and essentially this is the most hilarious shit because I heard about this too. I heard about this live. I was trying to get an audio recording of this for y'all. So they're interviewing they're interviewing people to be on the jury pool, right? And you know how the narrative and how the media is putting it, like, yo, all women hate Tory, you know what I mean? Tory's this, Tory's that, you know what I mean? It's basically misogynistic men who believe Tory or who not even believe Tory, who want to give Tory a fair shot, which again, you know, I thought the whole criminal justice system was about, you know, innocent until proven guilty. So there's a bunch of people who are just saying, bruh, we really don't even know if this nigga is really guilty, but we're going to give him a shot that he could at least go through trial before we make up our mind if he's guilty or not. That's all we're saying, right? Except, you know, you have certain people in the world, like I've been having this ongoing argument with this one woman in DMs. Don't ask me why I'm arguing with this woman, but like, you know, sometimes, you know, even for me, I get a lot of comments, but I try to ignore most of it. But you'll catch one comment and you'll just try to challenge them, right? And this person was just like, yo, Act, this is pretty low of you. Like, this is why black women, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, what do you mean? I said, because I don't know what the truth is, and I'm not saying Tory's automatically guilty from the get-go, I'm hurting the movement against the Protect Black Women movement. And they said, yes. So I said, explain. They said, well, you know, we're supposed to believe Meg. And I said, well, maybe Meg, as she just said, she didn't really know who shot her. She said her back was turned. I'm not saying she's lying, but maybe the truth ain't all the way out there yet. Bro, Shorty was just like, yo, you're just supposed to believe women blindly. And I'm like, blindly? But that's what it's kind of turned into, right? So like the people like me, they've turned me like I'm a radical person, right? You know, because they try to paint me in the, yo, you're just on Tory's team. And I've always just said like, bro, at the end of this whole saga, Tory might get found guilty. I think there's a good enough chance he might not, but he might get found guilty. And my whole thing is, until he's found guilty, let's not jump to the conclusion to just say he shot Meg. You get what I mean? Because those have a lot of ramifications, whether socially or career-wise. You get what I mean? Anyway, I've been just like, having these random conversations with some women who just believe that because Meg accused him, that's the end of the story. We don't need to go to trial, nothing like that. Anyway, I only say that to say because there's a narrative being ran that it's, they even try to paint it with Drake. They're like, yo, the dudes, they're like, yo, this is proof that the industry's misogynistic. These guys all believe Tory. And I don't think it's a man versus woman issue. I think, number one, Meg probably doesn't have the best relationship with a lot of artists compared to Tory. And I think legitimately, people just think that Meg's story got holes in it. That's why if they're saying that Tory might be innocent, that's simply it. You know what I mean? Now, for example, I think the Drake thing goes a little bit deeper. Bro, you're beefing with the guy who signed you. The guy who signed you is Carl Crawford, who's now kind of under Jay Prince. Who's Drake loyal to? Jay Prince. Jay Prince don't fuck with you because Carl Crawford don't fuck with you. I could imagine because there was an unfollow by Drake. Now, I don't know this to be fact, and I want to very just like clarify this. You know what I mean? I want to really make sure this is kind of known and clarified because sometimes, me and Drake, we even had a conversation recently, and I think people clickbaited what I said, and obviously Drake is intelligent and not retarded like Lil Baby. So of course he asked me, he was just like, yo, he's like, you didn't say this, did you? And it was one of those where like, I didn't say that. And his whole thing was, he's like, yo, because people know we talk, they might think like, even if you joking around, cause I crack mad jokes on here, when certain stuff comes towards me, and if you might use a word or two, that might make it seem like it came from me. They might think that you have some type of source that was from me. You get what I mean? Essentially, to go back to this, I don't want y'all to report that Drake told me nothing. Essentially, I believe Drake fucks with Jay Prince. Jay Prince fucks with Carl Crawford. Carl Crawford is beefing with Meg. I think that's why Drake is probably just kind of holding his corners. I ain't saying he picking sides, but he holding his corners. He rocks with everything Jay Prince. Jay Prince rocks with everything Carl Crawford, and Carl Crawford just don't see eye to eye with Shorty. You feel me? But the industry will have it be painted like, yo, it's a bunch of dudes that just hate Meg. Now, I'm going to get to that other thing maybe later that had to do with Drake, and maybe I'll clear that up, but I don't even know if I should. Anyway, to get back to this, I guess I said a lot to say nothing, but I was trying to give like some context about it's not just men who don't believe Meg. There was an African-American woman who came into court and she was being like, get questioned about her to be a possible juror. And she flat out just said, listen, I love Tory Lanez. I believe he's innocent and Meg's a fucking liar. And if y'all put me on the stand, or if y'all put me as one of the jurors, that nigga will never be found guilty. Flat out. You get what I mean? And by the way, this is a very public case. I only bring this up to say, bro, it's not just men. I think a lot of people are having mixed opinions about what they think happened. Now, we really don't know what happened, but everybody is, this is also being judged in the court of public opinion, so people kind of having their own biases. But they interviewed a woman, an African-American woman, and basically, she had to recuse herself after she stated she just believed Tory was innocent. I believe she also stated she loved Tory. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. So, again, it's not just dudes. I think Meg didn't help the situation by commenting too much. At one point, you say you saw him with a gun. The next thing you say you got shot, but your back was turned. So who shot you? Was it the guy you saw? Who'd you see with a gun? It's a lot of things going on. So I think that's why people just have a lot of doubt, man. If you guys don't know, they're going to start this case on the 12th, which is actually exactly a week from now. Exactly a week from now, they're going to start this case. And when they start this case, where it's supposed to conclude in 10 days. So it's going to start on the 12th, and they expect a verdict before Christmas. Usually the court shut down. Let me see the dates now. Yeah, Christmas falls on a Sunday. So usually the last day that the court will be up and operating will be like the 22nd or the 23rd, which is the 22nd is a Thursday, the 23rd is a Friday. So if they're expecting 10 days, which is going to be 10 business days of trial, is going to be, yeah, it should end on the 22nd or the 23rd. That's when deliberation should be. And unless it's like some super complicated thing to figure out what the jury is going to vote and how long their deliberation, we should get the answer on the 22nd or the 23rd. You get what I mean? Now, the super interesting thing about all of this is, like, granted, Meg is the victim, but there's so much like, statements from Meg, so many like different affidavits that basically Meg has just kind of, Meg said that Tory tried to pay her off. Meg said that Tory was kind of intimidating people. Meg said that, her lawyer on behalf of Meg. So it's not Meg directly, but these are, as a victim, you could talk to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor could use these things to sway the judge if it's certain things like, should he go on house arrest? Should he get bond? Essentially, Meg has kept the same energy ever since she said she want to see that nigga under the jail. She's kept the same energy to say, don't let this nigga go, and I need him to be punished by the highest extent of the law. You get what I mean? That's just the reality of it. Somebody said Meg's saying a whole lot. Yeah, she is. She is. I think, unfortunately, it's come down to this. Meg and Tory both view this case as not just, okay, did you do something? Because there's a lot of cases where people are accused of crimes and it doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't really materialize. And it doesn't materialize simply because the people who are either the victim or the person charged ain't that heavily invested. If Tory gets found guilty, it's curtains for his career. Like, this is a high stakes game. If Tory gets found guilty, and granted, maybe we get all the details, and you got to imagine, no matter guilty or innocent, people are going to go over this fucking whole case and how shit was presented and what was tossed out. They're going to go over it with a, fine-tooth comb. And even if you believe that Tory was innocent, if he does get found guilty, industry support is dead. Like, nobody's going to work with him again. And it's going to be 10 times worse than it was before. You know what I mean? Somebody said, what? Somebody said, did Tory pay me? No. Like, what would Tory pay me for? Bro, I'm literally saying that Tory could go to jail. I don't know. Bro, this is a trial at this point. You get what I mean? I would imagine that based on what I've heard, Tory has a good case. But also, I'm a little skeptical because the prosecutor is holding up certain shit that they haven't revealed. And it's like they're trying to drop like a surprise on Tory. You know what I mean? And, what was revealed today, which I think this ain't going to happen. Like, it just in no way, shape, or form this is going to happen. Tory requested Kylie Jenner. Tory requested Kylie Jenner. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up for y'all. Tory requested Kylie Jenner to be among the people to testify for him. Do you get what I mean? So they revealed their list of people they would like to call in this case. By the way, remember, the prosecutor said Meg's best friend is their number one witness. Tory said, well, I want Kylie and Corey Gamble. I would imagine that Tory also has to call the bodyguard. Everybody's accounted for. Keep in mind, the only way to neutralize, if Meg's best friend flips because the best friend has never said Tory shot nobody, right? Or she never said it to the cops and she never said it to the media. Allegedly, there was one screenshot, but then she kind of almost like denied it. I don't know what the fuck that was about, right? If the best friend, who I believe the authorities are going to threaten with jail time and threaten with charges, if she doesn't say what they want her to say to help corroborate a story that Tory is a shooter, so she's being threatened with jail time December 3rd. You get what I mean? If she gets on a stand and says, nah, Tory didn't do it, Tory has to put the bodyguard on the stand. It's the only way to neutralize it. You get what I mean? Now it's 2-on-2. It's the best friend and Meg versus Tory and the bodyguard. Here's the interesting part. Tory could flip this. Tory could be like, yo, in reality, the best friend might just be lying just not to get charges because there was gunpowder found on her. So it's going to be interesting, but we haven't heard about the bodyguard yet. The bodyguard did supposedly make a statement. I played it like a couple streams ago, but that is the interesting part about it. Anyway, there was a lot more to come, and I'll even get to the Kylie Jenner stuff too, right? Okay. So it starts off, the first thing they say is, and by the way, here's what's interesting. They said the jury pool consists of a diverse group of Caucasian, Asian, Black, and Hispanic backgrounds. Houston rapper Meg Thee Stallion is currently not in attendance, obviously. She's a victim. And Tory's facing the state of California. The presiding judge, Judge David Hereford, will also determine whether to rescind the house arrest order and the $350K bond, which he did. So anyway, all right, hold on. Wait. Oh, I got to scroll down for it. Where's the fucking details? Am I tripping? Okay, anyway. The judge agreed to take away the... Where's the other info I had? I'm so sorry. By the way, salute to Nancy Dillon. She wrote up a pretty good article on this. Hopefully I can see it. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So, they terminated the house arrest. And by the way, that kind of makes it look good for Tory. Now, Tory, honestly, in the next week, he has to be in zero fucking media. Like, Tory in the next week should shut the fuck up. You can't slap no op. You can't punch no nigga in the face. You got to just chill. Because they're picking the jurors, and even if, obviously they would want a jury of people who never really heard about Tory before, that they could be completely unbiased. But if, while these people are being picked in this week, they might go home, which even the judge is going to tell them not to, but they're humans. They're going to go home and type in Tory Lanez. So if Tory does something this week, it's going to affect him. By the way, I could imagine Tory might try to throw some shit in the media to make himself look good. Like, yo, I'm a great guy. You know what I mean? Again, you're just trying to get in these jurors, whoever going to get picked, to make them feel you're not the guy to shoot a chick. You feel me? Anyway, so basically, he's still out on $350,000 bond, but he's no longer on house arrest, and he no longer is on GPS monitoring, which is the ankle monitoring. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what else. Hold on. So this is the interesting the prosecutor is gonna go with, right? And I'm gonna try to show you some screenshots. So the prosecutor is basically trying to say, right? Tory has manipulated this whole situation, and the initial messages, which I'm gonna Google right now. What's that girl's name? Kelsey Harris messages. The initial messages from all these people said Tory shot Meg. You feel me? So let me see. These were the messages. Let's see. Kelsey, this is in the morning after it happened. Kelsey supposedly texted, let me see, obtained messages Obtained messages from Kelsey, the other woman in the car, and she texted Meg's security guard this. Remember, Meg's security guard wasn't there. She said, "Help, Tory shot Meg." So they're gonna use, I think they use this number one to try to threaten her to be like, if it ain't Meg, if it ain't Tory, it's you. Okay, remember this like crying ass shit. By the way, and I know some people think that when I'm breaking this shit down, I'm speaking for Tory. I'm speaking as someone who just kind of is using common sense. Maybe that this is something that Tory's defense will use, but I could imagine, based on how much Meg has talked about this publicly, if I'm Tory's defense team, they're going to make Meg look like just a fucking habitual liar, right? And it could start even from the night that she tells them, yo, I didn't get shot, I stepped on glass. Then she lied about something else, and then she lied about something else. Then she allegedly came clean with that story. Also, she went on this I think it was it Good Morning America, whatever. She claimed her and Tory never fucked. Like they didn't have a sexual relationship. Unfortunately, Tory's team got to use that to kind of contextualize what type of chick this is. Like, Your Honor, if she lying that I ain't fuck her, she lied about anything. Nigga, I was beating the brakes off that pussy. What y'all talking about? You feel me? Like, nigga, I was beating the brakes off that pussy. You can see my signature in that bitch. What y'all talking about? If she lying about that, Your Honor, she lying about everything. So all of these things, I believe, is gonna come into play. The thing with this Kelsey Harris shit, right? So she allegedly texted, as I said, Tory shot Meg. But here's the thing. According to some of the proof, it looked like she was behind the gun too. Maybe she was just texting that just to put the blame off on Tory. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had to just guess who pulled the trigger, it's either Tory or Kelsey. It's not the bodyguard, and Meg didn't shoot herself. There was a bullet that got fired. It didn't hit Meg directly. It hit the ground. It ricocheted. It splintered, but some of the splinters hit Meg. It's either Tory it's either Tory or Kelsey. But here's the funny thing about that. Imagine if it's what I was saying, right? And by the way, this is not no inside info from Tory. I told you, I've talked to him a bunch of times. He's never ever tell me what happened with the gun. Never in life. I'm telling you this. I'm not making it. He never told me. He never told me who had it. Never told me who shot. They never told me nothing. You know what I mean? That part of the story, he's never told me. And that's just honestly, I don't want to put it on anything, but that's the truth. What I believe, there was a struggle for the gun. And I think we all kind of believe that. Now, my whole thing is there wouldn't be a struggle for the gun. Like, I can't see Tory aiming at Meg and Kelsey's trying to take the gun out of Tory's hand. I think it would be the other way around. Now, here's the thing. If you're trying to stop somebody from allegedly, again, this might even be make-believe, right? We're going to allegedly find out some more info. And who knows, the cops probably got some info that we never knew, and they're probably just waiting to just drop it on Tory's lap in trial. Or maybe Tory already knows because he got the discovery. If you're trying to stop somebody from shooting somebody else, and you're wrestling the gun away from them, and the gun goes off, are you the person who shot, or is it the person who had the gun initially intending to shoot? Also, I'm glad somebody mentioned that. That whole shit about dance, bitch, dance just sounded crazy. Nigga, that sounded like some anime shit. Like somebody had to drop a one-liner before they shot. Dance, bitch, dance. Like, that shit just sounds ridiculous to me. What y'all think? That don't sound ridiculous to y'all? Somebody said that's from a movie. Nigga, it do sound like it's from a fucking movie. They said, didn't they say there was no gun residue? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know the official word on that yet. I don't know the official. I know there's definitely gun residue. So here's two things. And this is why I think Kelsey is testifying, right? Because I think the cops was threatening her, bro. They were telling her like, yo, listen, you're going to be in cuffs if you don't testify against. We want Tory. So even if y'all were fighting for the gun, we'll let you off the hook. We want Tory. You got to testify on Tory. You know why? Bro, you can just Google it. Witness saw muzzle flash Kelsey Harris. Look, play this. Hold on. Allegedly, a man who said they witnessed the shooting said they saw a muzzle flash that was closest to the non-victim female at the time of the shooting. So it looks like the gun got fired from a woman. The woman has gun residue on her. Meg is the only person alleging that is Tory. I don't believe they have footage of Tory shooting. In actuality, according to what the DNA results said, it's inconclusive, so they can't really tell one way or the other. It kind of reads to me like they were pretty close to getting this Kelsey girl like in trouble, and I think she probably just said, yo, listen, man, I'm sticking with the original story. I texted the bodyguard. Tory did it, man. Play the Kelsey diss track. Somebody said, I can sound like he guilty, not gonna lie. Bro, I don't know. Somebody said, play the Kelsey diss track. Let me go. Kelsey diss track. What did Kelsey say in her diss song? Oh, this shit's called Bustin' Back. Let me hear this. Okay, great. So that's another thing too. I think, by the way, Tory has to use this song. If she gets on the stand, I think Kelsey's in a tough spot. If Kelsey says anything bad about Tory, because that is Meg's supposed statement. Meg said, yo, you got paid off by Tory. You could read it in this Rolling Stone article. It said that, look, here we go. It was something about investing some business. Look, speaking of Rolling Stones, let me make sure I can see it. Speaking of Rolling Stones, for a cover story earlier this year, Meg said the other woman, Kelsey, her one-time best friend, told her after the incident that Daystar Peterson, which is Tory, offered to invest in her business in exchange for her silence. So somebody's lying. So that's what I'm saying. It's interesting that she's the lead witness for the prosecutor, because if the victim is saying that your lead witness admitted to her, right? That's what I'm saying. Meg did too much fucking interviews. Because if I'm Tory's lawyer, as soon as the prosecutor bring up Kelsey Harris, I'm going to go up there when we're doing a cross, and we're going to be like, yo, didn't Meg say you got paid off for your silence? And she either got to say Meg's a fucking liar, which kind of kills her being the top witness, or she has to go with this thing saying, nah, Tory did try to pay me off. And that's the only angle I'm wondering what the fuck could happen, right? But even if she said Tory tried to pay me off, if I'm Tory, I play this song in court where I said, Your Honor, How could she now say I'll try to pay her off when she dropped a diss song at her best friend, claiming her best friend was lying about me paying her off? Do you get what I'm saying? Let's keep listening to the song.
Never been a jealous friend, and the people really know it. If you would've kept it solid, then I would've been told it. See, I really thought I knew you, thought that you would keep it G. If you wanna talk gangsta, bitch, I'm really from the street. Imagine lying to the DA saying I took some who really on their knees. You an overachiever, all you do.
God damn, sucking dick behind my back. Bruh, I'm telling you, the story's kind of coming together. That's what I'm saying. Like, listen. And by the way, I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's, and I could have my personal opinion, but I'm going to be very open-minded to what could happen. This shit the prosecutor could drop a fucking bomb in court and be like, yo, we have the smoking gun that Tory did it. And I don't want to just be so naive that I'm like, oh, no, nah, bro, like, we're going to see what happens. I have my personal belief. Am I leaning one way or the other? Maybe. But everything I've been telling y'all is lining up with, the best friend never really said nothing, but the whole thing, Meg was fucking Tory. And by the way, if I'm Tory, I'm bringing all this shit up. Like, unfortunately, you got a character assassinate the witness to be like, yo, she a liar. She said she never fucked me. Her best friend alludes to in this song that she was sucking dick behind her back. Whose dick was she sucking? Mine. Like, pause, you know what I mean? Like, I guess I'm talking in terms of Tory. And bro, you gotta break this shit down. You gotta make both of them look like a liar if Kelsey's testifying against you.
But you steady shooting shots. Dad said if I spoke that a sex tape could drop. Was never supposed to be against each other. That's what y'all made it. I'ma still live it up. Yeah, I know y'all really hate it. Sucking dick behind my back. Who really on their knees? You an overachiever. All you do is succeed. Claiming you a pimp, huh? But you slipping on your Mac and are you lying to your label? Do they really know what happened?
Who shot you?
Cause you know it wasn't me. I was 10 toes down whenever you had beef. It's a goddamn shame. All you had to do is clear your best friend name. All you had to do was keep it real and stay the same. But you switched up on me for the money and the fame. Who shot you? I thought a bitch from Barrett County said something.
The only thing about this song that confuses me, again, unless in some miraculous way, the bodyguard is the person that fired the shot. Somebody fired the shot, and I don't think nobody believes it's Meg. And while we might sit here and argue semantics to say, was she really shot? She was twerking later. She had some bullet fragments that hit her. And that's technically called being shot, okay? It doesn't matter if we want to make it super technical and be like, well, she clearly wasn't injured that crazy or clearly didn't hit no tendons because she was twerking later. According to the letter of the law, she was shot. That's just how it goes. So now I ask y'all this. If this chick saying she ain't do it and Tory ain't do it, unless in some magical world, the bodyguard did it, which like we haven't heard nothing about that nigga since that one statement. Bro, somebody did it. So that's why I think it's going to be it's an ultimate Spider-Man meme. You did it. No, you did it. No, you did it. No, you did it. And I think it's going to be Tory and Kelsey. It's just going to be interesting because Tory and Kelsey was lightweight tag teaming against Meg. And because Tory's freedom Tory's facing 26 years. From which I thought Tory was a legal resident of the United States. Well, he is a legal resident. He's just not a citizen. According to the letter of the law, and for the people who know Tory's, just immigration status, if Tory gets found guilty of this offense, he will get deported. It would be a miracle for him not to get deported. I could imagine his legal team has probably hired some type of attorney to possibly deal with ICE, even if they do think they are completely fine. They got to think about the worst case scenario. You get what I mean? You have to possibly think about, okay, if, I forgot I think he has 2 charges or maybe 3. Okay, maybe you get found not guilty on the biggest charge, but then they give you the gun charge because there is a gun charge here, right? If that happens, will that trigger or mess up his immigration status? You get what I mean? Yo, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't even know why most of these guys who not from here, bro, y'all are spending all these time fucking these Instagram bitches, bro. Just go get married and get your papers. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I think Drake should be a citizen. Like, no disrespect to Canada, but bruh, like you're making the 90% of your money here, nigga. Get citizenship. Marry a chick, get your citizenship, keep it moving. You get what I mean? Let me see what y'all talking about. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it shocked me. I'm like, yo, you tell me 21 ain't had his citizenship for all that long? Like, bro, y'all gotta get to it. Get to it, man. The last person to get, like, deported in hip-hop, I think, was Shine. Shine got deported. Let me just Google, what does it take for you to get deported? What crimes get you deported? It should be deported from the U.S. Deported from the U.S. Let me see. Let me just look at California law. Okay, here we go. What crimes will get me deported in California? An aggravated felony, a drug crime, a gun crime. Okay, so a gun crime is a shooting, clearly. Domestic violence. I think they consider this domestic violence as well. Because, is it... So usually if you fuck around with the person, if y'all have been in a relationship or even if y'all been just intimate, any type of situation is called domestic violence. Whether it's harassment, it's still domestic violence. Whether it's like, I don't know if necessarily trespassing, but like pretty much anything that they feel could potentially be violent is not just like a simple assault anymore. It's categorized as domestic violence, harassment, domestic violence, stalking, domestic violence, like, and it's like a trigger thing that they use to employ a whole list of things that they could make sure that the victim, gets the proper help or whatever the case is. Shit. Technically, I believe this would be an aggravated felony. So yeah, this is definitely a deportable crime. And let me click on this other one. The following are joints that so there's something called crimes of moral turpitude, and these are a list of them: aiding and abetting, assault with a deadly weapon, which definitely would be a shooting, attempted murder, burglary, child abuse, blah blah, conspiracy, convicted felony with a gun, criminal threats, DUI with aggravating factors, extortion, forgery, fraud, vandalism. Okay, I see what's going on here. Yeah, Tory Lanez, 26 years. That's what he told me on off the record. He said he's facing, was it 26 or 29? Y'all tell me. Facing, let me see. Oh, he said 24. Why is he facing 24 years? Let me see. Tory Lanez charge. Tory Lanez is charged with, let me see. All right, we're going to get it right here. Okay. He was arrested on the charge of carrying all right, make sure I can see it. He was arrested on the charge of carrying a concealed weapon in the vehicle. But he wasn't arrested for shooting Meg initially. I got to see what he was charged with eventually. There was a major development. They announced felony assault. Let me go click on that. All right, they bullshit. Anyway, I don't know how to. I think the 24 is a little bit overblown. I think they're gonna run. I think it's multiple charges, and if they run both years concurrently, it's probably like 15. But who cares, man? It's a lot of fucking years. Anyway, they're trying to pick this fucking trial, man. They're trying to pick these jury, man. And unfortunately, people are coming in there hella biased, and you got to imagine what the vibes is. The vibes is motherfuckers have watched this case, whether through Shade Room, whether through me, for years, and no one's going in there. That's what I've always thought about. Remember when they had like the R. Kelly fucking shooting back? You get what I mean? Bro, this is like one of the biggest things. I remember the O.J. Simpson case. Nigga, I didn't even know what state these motherfuckers was in, but that shit took over Jamaica TV. I was in Jamaica at the time. I'm like, what the fuck? Somebody said, wait, is Tory a U.S. citizen? No. From what I know, no. Somebody said, crimes against women always end with a conviction? Nah, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Somebody said, didn't Myron already prove Tory innocent? Yeah, Myron, again, we're going off what's publicly available. We all believe that there's a good case for Tory to beat this case based on publicly given information that could create more than what would be considered a reasonable doubt. And if they can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt, usually juries are instructed to find that person innocent. Now, here's the thing. We don't know all the evidence that the DA got. The DA got some shit. They gotta have some shit. The DA got to have some shit. Somebody's gonna be embarrassed. And this is exactly why the criminal justice system is usually so successful, because, bruh, you really, even though they give you most of the stuff in discovery, sometimes you just don't know what rabbit they might pull out the hat. Or you might don't even know the type of jury you're going to get. Like, shit, you're interviewing somebody for like an hour or two trying to figure out if they should be on a jury, or one of 12 that gets to decide your whole fate. You know what I mean? Somebody could have faked it out. At least some people kept it 100. And by the way, if that chick wanted to be really in Tory's favor, she should have acted like she didn't give a fuck about Tory. And imagine that girl that literally said to them, like, yo, I love Tory. I think he's innocent. And if y'all put me on this jury, he's not going to get found guilty. Imagine if she just acted and be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Actually, I'm a hot girl. Or just act like she didn't know nothing. And she ended up being on the jury, and now she's in the jury deliberation room, and all she now says is, yo, I don't care what y'all got going on in here. I'm not voting that this nigga's guilty. It's going to be at least, at minimum, continued deliberation until it's a hung jury, or maybe it's a retrial or something like that, or maybe it just comes back and they say he's just not guilty. Somebody said, did I see the GoFundMe for DJ Pat? They say he's broke. Yeah, you send me the GoFundMe, because there's a bunch of stuff that happened. And I'm going to go between this Takeoff case and this case. Feel like we're on Criminal Minds over here. But I'm going to go between them, because DJ Pat today in court has literally finessed the legal system. The judge